Hi everyone, welcome you all. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can work with the table in Protractor. So here I have a small web table which is implemented using AngularJS technology. So let me open my browser and this is my AngularJS application. So let it open. So here Angular demo project, and here I have a small product list, and which is basically table. So inside this product list, I have some names of products and category, quantity, unit price, and so on. So in this table, we can do different CRUD operations, like we can add a new product to the list, or we can view, or we can edit, or we can delete. So now let us see how we can perform these operations on this table. So as a first step, what I can do is just go to your Visual Studio Code, and here I'm going to create a new test. So under test cases, let me create a new file. I will name it as tabletest.js. All right, so now inside this, as a first step, I'll write a describe block. Let me just write a describe block. So describe, and when I say describe, we need to specify the name of the suite. I'll say table demo, and we need to have a function here. So inside the function, we need to write multiple it blocks. So let me write multiple it blocks here. So before writing the it blocks, I will write one more block here. Let's say before all. So I want to launch my URL, and before viewing the products and editing the products and deleting the products. So I'll say, as a first step, I'll say one block called before all. Let me write it here. I'll say before all, and this is lowercase letters, before all, and inside this we need to write a function. So I'll say function, and this function we need to implement. All right, so inside this I'll say browser dot, and it is giving small error. Let's see what is an error. So we forgot to put the bracket. Remove this. Okay, so now inside this before block, I'll say I'll launch my browser. I'll say browser dot get, and here I'll specify my URL of application. Let's go back and copy this URL, and I'll specify here. So this particular statement will launch my application. So browser dot get, and inside this function we need to write, and let's see, it is giving an error. So it is saying browser dot get. Let me write properly. Before all function, before all, and this is spelling mistake. Actually, this is a function. Okay, so this will launch my page, and after that, I'll just wait for some time. I'll say browser dot sleep, and let's wait for 5 seconds, 5000 milliseconds. So this is the first block I have written inside the describe block, before all. So this block will execute only once before starting all it blocks. So now I'm writing the first it block where I can write the code to view the product details. So as soon as I launch my page, by default, you can see some data. Now I want to view the details of one product. So for that, what I can do is I can just, I have multiple records also here. So I just go to the last record, and here I want to click on the view. Then I can see some data about that record. Name, description, category, quantity. So I will verify this data is correctly displayed or not in the product view. So for that, what I can do is I'll say, first of all, I need to go and get this record from the last row from this table. Now here we'll see how we can work with this. So go back, and here I will write one test to view the product details. So for that, I'll write one it block. Let's say it, and here I'll say view product details, and this code we need to implement in the function. So now inside this function we need to write implement the code. So view product details. So for that, what I can do is, so here we need to capture the last row, and this option we need to click. So from the last row and view option I need to click. So first of all, how we can capture the rows from my table. So there are multiple rows we have, right? So let me just write a small statement here. Element, because we need to capture all the rows in a table. So for that, I'll say element dot, there is a method called all, element dot all, and this will get the multiple elements. If I want to get only single element, we can just use element. But if you want to capture multiple elements, I say element.all. And inside this element.all, and if you just inspect this table, so every row is representing with the tr tag. So if we just inspect any of this record, and here, and let me just inspect here. Yeah, so you can see here, this is a t body and here table. So this is a table which is started here. And if you expand this table, and again we can see multiple t body. Inside this there are so many trs we have. So every tr tag is representing one row. If I move my cursor on each tr tag, it is highlighting specific row, right? So now first of all we need to capture all the tr from this table. So for that what I can do is I'm using tag name. So all the trs, all the rows having same tag name. So element dot all, and here I'll say by dot tag name. So tag name is a locator, and here I'll say tr. So this particular statement element dot all by dot tag name of tr, so which will exactly give all the trs. That means all the rows in a table. And once you get all the rows, I need to capture the last row in the same table. I need to get the last row. So for that I can use one function called dot last. So this method will get you the last row among all the trs. So if you want to get first one, you can say first keyword and last dot, and in this last, the last row, again we have a multiple elements. So here every tr, so if I just notice here, let's go to last tr. So these are the different td tags are there. I think this is last, yeah, this is the last tr. So in this there are so many td tags are there. So td representing the table data. And again if you just notice here, especially when you see the view here, right? So for that we have a id called view. So there is an id attribute available for this view icon. So this is basically a button element. So we need to go and get this element from this last row by using this id attribute. So for that what I can do is, till here this will get you the last row from a table, and from that again I'll try to get the another element from this last row. So element of single element I want to get by using id. I'll say by dot id, and the value of the element is view. I'll just say view. So now this will go and get all the trs, that means all the rows from a table, and the last function will get the last row, and inside that row it will go and get the element who is having id is view, and here I need to perform the click action. So this is how we need to click on the view option on the table from the last row. First we have captured all the rows, and from all the rows again I'm just go and get this element by using last row. So for all the rows I'm getting the last row here by using last function. In this row I'm getting the element who is having id equal to view, and then click on action. So this will perform the click actions. After clicking on this view option like this, and then it will go to another page. So here it will show you all the product details. So now I need to verify these product details are exactly the same as table data or not. So for that what I can do is, before clicking on the view option, okay, so what I can do is before clicking on the view option, I'll capture the data from this product list table. So let's say product name, category, quantity, unit price. These data I need to save them in a variables, in different variables. And after clicking on the view, I'll verify the same data is present on the product details page or not. So for that what I can do is, here before getting all these elements, so here I will define some variables. Product name, so whatever the data we have in the table, like product name, category, quantity, unit price, supplier, so this data I'll store in some variables. So let me just create some variables. I already created some variables. Let me just put it here. So here product name, description, category, quantity, unit price, supplier, and return number. So these are the data variables I have created. Now after clicking on this view, I need to verify this exact data is present in the product details page. So now after clicking on this view, what happen is it will go and display this page. Let me just click on the view. Now here I need to verify this data is exactly present here or not. So again, if you see here, this particular page, product view, this is also table. And if you expand this, you will see table. This is also another table. So if I just expand this table again, T body, inside this, there are so many TRs are there. So TR representing every row. So again, if you expand any one of the row, TR, TH and TD, table header and TD. So again, in the second row, again, we have a table header and table data. So this is also data. So now we need to verify exactly this data is present here or not. So to do this, first of all, we need to capture this data, whichever is displayed on the product view. And this data we need to compare with our expected data, which is already saved in our variables. So now we need to extract the name value, description value, category, quantity, all these values from this table. Now we'll see how we can capture this data. So here, after clicking on the view, and before that, before capturing data, I'll just check whether this page is product view page or not. Right. So after clicking on the view, I can verify this page is exactly product view or not. So for that, what I can do is I can just identify this product view element and then check this text is present or not. So basically this product view is having h3 tag, and by using this tag name, I can access this value by using get text and h3. So how we can access this is we can write like this. So element of, and here I'm going to use tag name, which is h3. So element of by dot tag name. So by dot tag name. So what's the tag name here is h3 is my tag name. h3 is my tag name. So h3 is my tag name, and close this dot. So this will go and locate that h3 tag element here. This is the text product view is identified, and after this, from this I need to capture the text value. So for that I can use get text method. So which will capture the value, and that text method we need to verify. So for that, what we can do is we need to put expect command, expect validation, expect. So this will give you the text value till here, and after getting this text value, that should be or to be. And what we are expecting here is we have to expect product view. So this exact text it should display. This text it should display. So I'm verifying that. Put that in to be. This is a verification point. So after clicking on the view here, after clicking on the view icon in the table, the next page should be product view page. So that's I'm verifying here. So after that, we will start verifying the rest of data. So this data I already saved in my variables. So I've just passed the data in the expected value. So first of all, we need to capture this data from the product view table. So let's see how we can capture this data. So as I said, this is basically table, right? So we need to extract all the rows, and from all the rows, we need to extract one by one each row. And from that row, we need to extract the data. So first of all, let me write how we can capture this. So 1001 activities book. So how to capture this data? And this should be exactly equal to our expected product name. So let me write one statement for this, and the rest of them will be very, very easy for us. Now inspect this element. So currently this is a TR activities. So first of all, directly go to the table rows, capture all the rows. So how to capture all the rows? I'll say element dot all. So which will get all the elements. Now here we need to write a locator by dot tag name of single quote or double quotation. I'll say TR. So till here, which will give you all the TRs. All the TRs means all the rows. On all the rows, I'm capturing the first row. So for that, I'll say get of 0. So which will get you the first row. Inside the first row. So first row means name and this one. This is the first row, get of 0, which is represent the first row. Inside this first row, because index will start from 0. So get of 0, the first row dot. Inside the first row, there are two elements. So what are those two elements? If I just notice here, TH is one element, TD is another element. So get of 0 dot, and here I say we need to capture the TD element, not TH. So this element we need to capture. So get of 0, that means the first row dot element again by dot tag name of TD I want to get. So I'll say TD. So this will exactly give you dot get text. So we need to use get text also because we need to extract that value. So get text. So till here, this particular statement, first it will capture all the TRs, that means all the rows from a table. get of 0, it will go to the first row, or it will extract the first row. And inside this, we have an element called tag name TD, and that element is the second part, like the value of the name, and dot get text. So this will exactly get the value of the name, and that value should equal to our product name. So the whole statement I will put in expect. This is assertion, and expect element dot all by dot tag name of tr, get of 0 element by dot tag name of td, then get text. Here it is closed. Now this to be, so now verification point starts dot to be, and this to be exactly equal to product name. So that I'm passing here, the variable I'm passing. So this is a whole exception. This is whole assertion. So capture all the rows, get the first row from all the rows, and get the element from this row, and capture the text value of that element, then compare with the product name. So that is exact name should be matches. Similarly, we should also compare rest of them. So if you see here, how many rows we have? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows we have. So totally we need to write a 6 statements. And for every row, we need to capture the TD tag itself, because here it is a TD and here it is also TD. So TD contains the exact value which we need to capture. So now I'm copying the same statement. So this is the second time. So same again, from all TRs get the first row, that means second row, again TD dot get text, and the second should be description. So it should be equal to description, right? And similarly, the next one. So let's copy this. And tr get of 2. So second element, 0 first row, second row, third row. And here td get test, and next one is category. So category we have to pass. So whatever value we are getting here, which is comparing with the category. So similarly, quantity, unit price, supplier, and returnable. So for every element, we need to write like this. Copy and specify here. And then next time, this is 3. So get text to be after category, we have a quantity. So let's say quantity here. And the same thing. And I think 3 more times. So here fourth one, because here fourth row, TD get text, and to be after quantity, unit price also we need to verify. Then after unit price, supplier and returnable. So here this is 5, fifth row and sixth row. So here we are expecting supplier, we are expecting returnable. That's it. So for every field in a table, we have verified. So as soon as we got into product view table, every value we are verified as per our expected data, right? So after verifying, you can just also see the page, or you can just say browser.sleep. This is not mandatory, also not best practice. Every time you need to put sleep, just for seeing the pages. Otherwise it will go very faster. So I'm just putting some wait time to see pages very clearly. So this is a complete test case. So view product details. So I have saved our expected data in our variables, and I click on the view menu. After that, I'm expected something here. So after clicking on the view, it should display the product view page. And in the product view page, whatever data I'm expecting to be there, and I'm checking the data is present on this product view page in the table or not. So this is a test. So let us execute this test alone, and later we will try to automate rest of the things. And why it is giving again error? Yes, syntax error. Okay, so this is all one it block here to here. Okay, done. So let's try to execute this code, and we'll see how it is going to execute. And before all block will execute only once before it block is started. Okay, now save it and go to conf.js, and we need to change the name here. So what is the name here is, our test case name is table test. So I'll say table test.js. So after changing the name, spec name here, now I'm going to run this. Go to terminal, and here I'll say protractor and conf folder, and again conf.js. So now it is started execution on the Chrome browser. Okay, now it is launched on my page. Then it should go and click on the view. Yes, product view page is displayed. Now it is verifying all the data which is displayed on the page. Now everything is goes well. So my test is got passed. One spec, there is no failure, right? So this is how we can view the data in my table. So now we'll see one more operation. So let's continue this. After viewing this data, again, I need to go back to the table. So when I click on the list products here, it will go back to the table. So let's see how we can do this. So for this, I can create one more it block. So this is another test. So now in the same describe block, let me create one more it block here. So we already created one block for view product details. Now I'm creating one more it block for this is to navigate to the product list. Okay, I'll say navigate to product list, and this I need to implement in the function. And then so here we need to write the code, one more it block. So currently we are here after completing the first it block. Then we need to click on the list products. So here let us locate this element list products, and it will give you one ID here. So this is ID list menu, and we can use this ID to click on this element, right? So let me just get this ID list -menu, and here I'll say element of by.id, and here I'll say the ID which I have captured dot click. So this particular statement will click on this element. After that, it will go to again product list table. So after navigating here, so again I need to verify this label product list, so which is exactly table is displayed or not. So again locate this element product list, and which is there in h3 tag. So let's capture that element. That's a verification point. So here element, so here I'll say element of by dot tag name of h3 is my tag name. So h3. So in the JavaScript we can use double quotations, single quotations, anything fine. So here I can use double quotations or single quotation. This is my tag name, and from this I'm extracting the text. I'll say get text. So this will extract the text value, and after getting the text value from the label, so we need to compare with our expected. So for that I'll put this statement in the expect of element of by dot tag name of h3 get text, and here the statement is closed. And now here we need to say dot to be, and what's our expected here is product list. So this I am expecting. Copy this and put it here. So this is expectation after clicking on the list menu, and then it will go back to the product list table, right? This is a navigate to the product list. So after going to the let me just check till here, then we will write one more test. So again go to the terminal, new terminal. I'm just running my test. So after go and view the data of the table, then again it will go back to the actual table page. So now opens the table. Now product review table displayed, product review. Now again it will go click on list products, and then it will go back and executed. My test is also passed. So 2 green dots we can see here. So 2 specs, there is no failure. So similarly, let us see how we can delete a product. So in the same table, I'll try to delete the one product from this list. So this time let us go and delete the first one or last one. So in the first example, I have shown you how to get the last row from this list, and this time let us try to get the first element or first row element, and I want to delete the first one, right? So for that, what you can do is let me just create one more it block. So it block, and here I'll say delete product. Okay, delete product, or I'll say delete product list. From this I'm just going to delete one product. So delete product, and this we need to implement in function. I'll say function, and this function we need to implement, right? So here we need to write a delete function. So for that, what you have to do is, so after execution of the second it block, it will go to product list page. So from this product list page, I need to go and select the first TR. So first of all, we need to capture all the TRs. So for that, what I can do is element dot all, and here I'll say by dot tag name of TR. So this will give you all the TRs from the table, all the TRs. From this, I'll extract the first TR. I'll say first, FIRST, the first TR I'm getting. From that first row, and if I want to delete this record, we need to click on the last icon, so delete icon. So if I just right click and inspect this element, and you can see there is an ID also present here somewhere. So here, this is the button, the ID is delete. So by using this attribute, I can access this last element. So from the first row, so it will, first statement element dot all will capture all the rows in a table. Inside this table, I'm capturing the first row, and inside that first row, I'm capturing the element. So which element? Whose ID is delete. So I'll say like this, by dot ID. So element of by dot ID, within the brackets we have to keep. So this is a by dot ID, right? So this statement will go and get the specific element. So first we need to capture all the rows, and first function will get the first row among all the rows. Inside the row, get the element who's having ID equal to delete. Once you get that element, perform the click action there. So click action. So this will delete the record. And after deleting, we can just wait for some time to see this, or else we can close this window. So this will go and delete the record and semicolon. And after that, I'll just wait for some time. I'll say browser.sleep. Just wait for 5 seconds. After that, page automatically closes. So this is for deleting products. So now let us execute one more time. Go to terminal, new terminal, and here I'll say Protractor conf folder. Inside this conf.js I'm running. All right, so now it is launched in my Chrome browser. Now, yes, first it will go and click on the last product list view. Yes, now it go to product view. The first it block is executed. Now it should go back to the table, and now it is executed, but there is small failure. So let's see why it is getting failure. Now, if we just go up, it is saying no element found using locator, ID equal to delete. So basically this element is not able to found. So where exactly we use? So we use here. So let's cross check once again how it is, why it is not going to get that element. So I'll say element dot all by dot tag name of TRs, which will get you all the TRs perfectly fine. And I can say first, so this will go in the first row, we will get dot element by dot ID and delete, perfectly fine, dot click. So it is not directly getting that element, because after navigation is done, it will go back to the previous page, right? So product list page that is contains the table. So here it takes some time to go back, and immediately it's trying to get that element. So it is not able to find that element. So what I can do is I'll put this browsers.sleep before this statement, so that after going back to the table, it will wait for some time, then it will get the delete element and then perform the click action. All right, so now let us execute, save it, clear, and execute one more time. All right, so now it is launching my page. So first it will go and execute view. Yes, now product view page is displayed. Now we'll verify all the data. Then again, it will go back and delete the record. The first record should be deleted. After deletion, everything is closed. So now again, we see one failure here, 3 specs totally, one failure. So let's see why it is getting failure. So again, it is giving same element, no element found using by of CSS selector ID equal to delete. ID equal to delete. Now we'll see once again. And here, first element I'm saying, okay, so what it is saying is the problem here is, so this is basically started from in the header part, it is verifying. So because here we said first, right? So what is the first means? So first means this is a header part. So first means is a header part. So here it could not find that option. So if I just inspect this, that is just a label. So we don't have any ID. So here, from here we can find this ID. So if I just go back, and here ID is equal to delete. So this is there from the second row. It's not there in the first row. So for that, what I can do is I can say get off 1, get off 1, right? So now let us try this. If it should not work, we'll try another way. So just say clear. Okay, so index will start from 0. So I need data from the second row. So I'll just say get off 1. Okay, so I think it should work now. Yes. So now you can see 3 specs are executed. There are 0 failures. So here, if you want to get the last row, we can use here the last function. Or if you want to get the first row in a table, you can use the first function. But here, why it is getting failed? Because the problem here is even the header is also considered as a one row. So when I say first, it will go and fetch the delete option here. So the ID is not matching, so it is getting failed here. So, but if I want to extract some other row, so not first one and not last one. So in the middle rows, I want to capture. So in that case, you can use get option. Capture all the rows, and whichever row you want to get, use get option. So here I use get option. When I say 1, index will start from 0. 0 means first row, 1 means the second row. So here I'm getting the option called delete, and I'm just clicking on the delete option. So it go and get that element and then perform the click action. The first record is deleted. So this is how we can work with the table in Protractor. So similarly, we can also do different type of operations on this table. So we also have edit, and we can also click on edit, and we can also modify the data of the table, and we can also submit. So different CRUD operations, we can also do this on this table. Okay. So this is a basic example of how we can work with the table in Protractor. All right. So that's all for this video, guys. Thanks for watching.